Our unity and love for one another will always be stronger than the hate of the extremists. Sorry, I'm human. Talk to me as such. London stands in defiance against this cowardly attack. I know you had to think for a little while before taking this part. What was the turning point that made you end up taking it? I initially said no because I was kind of scared of spending so long away from home. Then I ended up catching a second wind. You do not commit these disgusting acts in my name. Rachel Zegler didn't say a word. She didn't have to. The look on her face said everything. For weeks, she'd been the center of a cultural storm, fighting headlines, critics, and even political figures. But this time, it was different. I just wanted to go on this little baby rant about Rachel Zegler. I mean, they've gone through various scandals with this girl. Not because she can't keep her mouth shut. I'm totally fine with celebrities telling me their politics, who they're voting for, etc. We've become accustomed to that. But she has this underlying anger and hatred in her that always has to take it one step too far. Paparazzi caught her outside her London flat, hunched over, eyes red, mascara smudged, visibly shaking. 2 security guards shielded her from the cameras as she rushed into a waiting car. She didn't wave, she didn't smile. She looked like someone who had just received devastating news. And within minutes, the footage was everywhere. What would you say to those who are just overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it. Good luck this year. All right, congrats, Rachel. Good luck. Social media lit up. Speculation exploded. Some fans claimed she was just tired. Others weren't so sure, because only hours earlier, a cryptic post had circulated from someone claiming to work inside the UK's Department for Culture. The post said, "Big decision coming on the Evita production. Public image matters. No names, no details." But for those following the drama, it didn't take long to connect the dots. One of the most disgraced actresses of our entire lifetime is having yet another insane, hilarious meltdown over the complete and total backlash that has basically ended her entire career in Hollywood before it even started. And she is back once again to go scorched earth, to attack everyone that wasn't happy about the insane things she's been saying over the past couple of years. She is not happy, and it's very obvious with everything going on. Zegler's breakdown wasn't just emotional, it felt symbolic. A rising Hollywood star flown in to lead a major London production, suddenly unraveling in public, just as rumors of government interference began to swirl. The timing was impossible to ignore. Was this a mental health crisis triggered by public pressure? Or was it something bigger, something that hadn't yet been made public? Either way, one thing was clear. Rachel Zegler wasn't just fighting for her reputation anymore. She might be fighting for her role, or worse, her entire future in the UK. Rachel Zegler's in the news because she's fast becoming the new Brie Larson. She's taking over as the most unlikable woman in Hollywood ever to promote a movie. Truly a cultural milestone that Rachel Zegler has reached. Most annoying female lead in all of history. She is the most unlikable woman I've ever seen in my life. Holy crap. But how did it come to this? Why is the British government allegedly getting involved with a musical actress from the US? The answer lies in a single viral moment that turned a theatrical dream into an international scandal. In the 1970s, Tim Rice became fascinated by her and worked up the concept for a musical, which would become the smash hit Evita, with music by Andrew Lloyd Webber. One commentator wrote this: Evita Peron symbolizes certain naive but effective beliefs, the hope for a better world, a life sacrificed on the altar of the disinherited, the humiliated, and the poor of the earth. It should have been a simple photo op, a quick wave to fans, a smiling nod from the balcony of one of London's most iconic theaters. But instead, Rachel Zegler stood alone, arms crossed, chin raised, staring down at the street below like she owned the city. Cameras flashed, the internet exploded, and just like that, a new villain was born. What was meant to be a promotional moment for Evita turned into a meme overnight. Critics called it the Marie Antoinette moment of Gen Z Hollywood. Some joked she looked like a dictator surveying her kingdom, but not everyone was laughing. Women's groups in the UK called the moment tone deaf, accusing Zegler of acting like she was above the culture she came to perform in. The backlash was instant and brutal. A lot of what you see with Zegler is really just the pretty common Gen Z mentality and approach to work. She believes that she should be able to express herself and speak her truth or whatever nonsense, regardless of the consequences to everybody else. In reality, you have a job. You're getting paid to do this job. You signed on the dotted line. You took on the role. That job comes with certain basic responsibilities, and one of the most basic is the responsibility to control yourself and comport yourself a certain way publicly so that you don't harm the project, thereby harming all the hundreds of other people who are working on it. It didn't help that Zegler had already built a reputation online for her sharp tongue and unapologetic opinions. Her past comments slamming Snow White as outdated and weird resurfaced, and British tabloids had a field day. Headlines mocked her attitude, questioned her casting, and reignited debates about whether American celebrities respect the rules they're given, or the countries they perform in. Rachel Zegler is reportedly struggling to get hired. She was supposed to be in Paddington 3. However, she was dropped from that movie a few weeks ago. They said it was due to the actors' strike. However, there are numerous actors in Paddington 3 who are part of SAG, yet they're still able to film. People are speculating that it might be because of another reason, most likely the Snow White backlash and studios not wanting to hire her, fearing their movie might suffer financially. She also voiced the lead character of an upcoming cartoon for Apple TV. However, Apple dropped the film. It was later picked up by Netflix, but people are wondering why Apple dropped it in the first place. Again, many say it's because of the Snow White backlash. From gossip into geopolitics was what happened next. Within 48 hours, a statement was allegedly leaked from someone close to the mayor of London. It wasn't official, but it was sharp. London doesn't negotiate with narcissists. And just like that, the tone shifted from embarrassment to open hostility. But it didn't stop there. Behind the scenes, whispers began to emerge that the UK government, specifically the Department for Culture, Media and Sport, was quietly watching the situation unfold, and they weren't amused. If you could interview Rachel Zegler, what kind of questions would you be asking her? I'd start with softballs to build some trust. A little about her life, her career, the gig. Then I'd ask, when you give interviews like this, when you share those thoughts that are rather divisive, it seems like you're insulting the work you're trying to honor. Why do you say that, or would you say it differently? You have to. You're out promoting your movie. You're talking to all these people. It's your job. Your job is to get eyeballs to the movie. Why would you insult the source material that way? This material has been beloved for years and decades. If it ain't broke, so to speak. I think that's straight and fair. Why would the government care? Because Evita isn't just a play. It's a high-profile, taxpayer-supported cultural event with national press coverage and international reach. And when public outrage boils over, optics matter. If the lead actress is seen as disrespectful, dismissive, or politically toxic, the blowback doesn't just hit her. It hits everyone backing the show, including the government.